Cristiano Ronaldo's legendary athleticism has delivered countless unforgettable moments, but his gravity-defying header against Sampdoria stands among the very best. It wasn't just a goal, it was a demonstration of human capability pushed to its limit, a moment when millions watching around the world collectively asked the same question: how is that even possible? For Juventus fans, for football lovers, and for anyone fascinated by greatness, this was a moment that showed exactly why Ronaldo remains one of the most iconic athletes in history. The match itself carried a quiet tension. Juventus entered with confidence, but Sampdoria were no strangers to upsetting giants. They pressed with energy and defended with organization, knowing that players like Ronaldo need only a fraction of space to change the scoreline. Every Juventus attack felt like a build-up to something bigger, yet for most of the first half, the breakthrough remained elusive. The build-up play between Dybala, Alex Sandro, and Higuain showed flashes of danger, but the real explosion of brilliance was still waiting. Then it happened, the kind of moment that becomes a permanent part of football history. A seemingly routine cross from Alex Sandro floated into the box, but what Ronaldo did next defied science. As Sandro prepared to deliver, Ronaldo scanned the box, calculated the defender's position, and anticipated the ball's trajectory. With that instinct only the greatest players possess, he timed his run perfectly. What followed was an astonishing leap, a jump that seemed to freeze the world around him. Cristiano soared, not jumped, soared, his head kept rising as if pulled upward by invisible wires. Reports later revealed he reached a height of over 2.5 meters, hanging in the air for what felt like an eternity. Fans watching couldn't believe their eyes, even Sampdoria defenders paused in shock. Ronaldo's body remained horizontal in midair, his core strength stabilizing him like a gymnast performing a suspended pose. Goalkeepers dread these moments because once Ronaldo meets a cross at full power, there is almost no chance of stopping it. The connection was perfect. A thunderous header slammed the ball past the keeper, sending Juventus supporters into wild celebration. Moments like this aren't just goals, they become symbols of the athlete himself. Ronaldo has built a career on impossible moments, long-range screamers, hat tricks when everything is on the line, late winners in pressure games, and aerial dominance that makes him look superhuman. But this particular header felt different. Even in a career filled with world-class highlights, this one stood out because it showcased pure athletic evolution. Ronaldo wasn't just scoring, he was reinventing what a footballer could physically achieve. It wasn't luck. Behind that header were years of meticulous training, plyometric workouts, core strengthening, relentless leg routines, and hours of repetition. Ronaldo has always been obsessed with improvement, and this goal was a result of that obsession. Ordinary players jump. Ronaldo studies movement, enhances muscle response, and rewrites the limits of explosive power. Sports scientists later analyzed the leap in slow motion, pointing out his ability to reach his peak height before the defender even left the ground. His hang time alone was comparable to NBA players known for their elite vertical leaps. For a footballer to do this, in full sprint, under pressure, with defenders pushing, makes the feat extraordinary. The stadium erupted. Fans jumped, arms lifted, chanting Ronaldo's name as teammates surrounded him. Even neutral viewers found themselves smiling at the brilliance on display. Commentators were left scrambling for the right words, some simply repeating "Unbelievable," because describing what they saw felt impossible. It was the kind of goal children try to recreate in backyards, the kind that becomes the centerpiece of highlight reels forever. This goal also represented Ronaldo's identity within Juventus. A leader, a performer, and a player committed to winning above all. At the time, Juventus were building a team designed to dominate Italy and challenge Europe. Ronaldo's arrival had transformed the club's mentality. Matches became events. Training intensified. Players pushed harder because they saw how much effort their superstar teammate gave every single day. And in moments like this header, Ronaldo delivered exactly what the club had brought him in for: difference-making brilliance. Juventus' attacking rhythm often revolved around Ronaldo's presence. Even when he wasn't on the ball, he forced defenders to reposition constantly. Sampdoria's defenders had been trying all game to track his movement, but great players need only one opportunity. The leap wasn't just athletic genius, it was tactical intelligence. He drifted into the perfect pocket of space, stepping just behind the defender's blind spot and accelerating at the last possible moment. This timing ensured he met the ball at its highest point, something only players with elite awareness can execute. After scoring, Ronaldo's celebration said everything. His trademark, SIUUU, echoed across the stadium, but behind the celebration was the look of someone who knew he'd just created one of the greatest moments of his Juventus career. Even opponents couldn't help but acknowledge it. Cameras captured the stunned reactions on the Sampdoria bench, expressions somewhere between disbelief and admiration. For young players watching, this moment became a masterclass in timing, technique, and work ethic. Coaches everywhere began using the clip to teach body control and jumping mechanics. Analysts broke down the movement frame by frame. Social media exploded with jokes about Ronaldo touching the sky, memes of him jumping over buildings, and commentary from athletes in other sports praising his leap. It wasn't just a football moment, it transcended into a global sports moment. The beauty of Ronaldo's header wasn't only in the height, it was in the control. His neck muscles generated the direction, his torso stabilized midair, and his legs tucked just enough to maintain the angle. Every piece of his body worked in harmony. And even as he reached the peak of his jump, he kept his eyes locked on the ball with perfect concentration. That level of focus under pressure is what separates world-class players from legends. But the goal also carried emotional weight. For Juventus fans, it symbolized confidence in their team's ambitions. For Ronaldo supporters, it reaffirmed their belief that their hero could still produce magic at any stage of his career. For his critics, it served as another reminder that writing off Cristiano Ronaldo is always a mistake. Matches like this also show why football is loved worldwide. One moment, one perfect second of time, can change everything. Whether you support Juventus or not, watching a player push human boundaries creates a sense of awe that unites fans. Children in parks later that week tried jumping higher. Gyms saw people attempting Ronaldo-style workouts. Comment sections filled with praise from every corner of the world. Ronaldo's influence extends far beyond the pitch. Moments like this inspire effort, dedication, and belief in personal improvement. As the final whistle blew, Juventus walked away with all 3 points, and Ronaldo walked away as the undeniable man of the match. Interviews afterward asked him about the jump. Ronaldo smiled, humble yet proud, and said it was just part of doing his job, scoring goals for the team. But everyone watching knew it was far from ordinary. It was one of those rare football scenes that stays with you long after the match ends. In the years that followed, the clip became iconic. Commentators frequently referenced it when discussing Ronaldo's physicality. It featured in highlight compilations, fitness documentaries, and motivational videos. It was not just a goal, it was a representation of an athlete pushing the limits of what the human body can do. And whenever debates arise about the greatest players in football history, this header inevitably reappears as evidence of Ronaldo's unmatched combination of skill, strength, and willpower. Ronaldo's header against Sampdoria is the kind of moment that defines a career, an exhibition of raw athletic dominance blended with technical perfection. It reminded fans why football is more than just tactics and results. It's artistry, unpredictability, emotion, and raw human brilliance. It's moments like this that draw millions to stadiums, inspire young athletes, and create everlasting memories. For Juventus supporters, it will always be remembered as one of their star's most jaw-dropping contributions. For Serie A fans, it stands as one of the most impressive goals in the league's modern history. And for Cristiano Ronaldo's legacy, it sits proudly among the many examples of why he remains, even today, a symbol of football excellence. In the end, this wasn't just Ronaldo scoring a header. It was Ronaldo rewriting the laws of physics. It was a moment that left fans worldwide staring at their screens, smiling in disbelief. A reminder of what greatness looks like. A reminder of why Cristiano Ronaldo continues to stand at the pinnacle of world football. And long after the match has faded into the archives, this leap, this astonishing, sky-touching leap, will remain a timeless chapter in the story of Serie A, Juventus, and the extraordinary career of Cristiano Ronaldo.